Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is going to be messages and predictions for your month of December 2025. By the way, I hope you like my little festive setup. I'm very excited about it. So we are going to start off with the general overview of your month, where we look at the main themes of your month, the main energies and significant events and changes coming your way. And then we're going to look into specific areas of your life. So we are going to get messages and predictions for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. There are 3 groups to choose from today, and each group has a different Christmas ornament. So I'm going to show you each of these up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. For my group number 1s, we have this star. For my group number 2s, we have this Christmas tree. And for my group number 3s, we have this bell. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi, number 1s. Yumi decided to come up on the chair and do the reading with me, which is kind of unusual for group 1 because she usually starts on her bed and then she comes up like in the later groups. But she's very excited to do your reading today. Okay, let's get into it. So if you guys chose the star ornament, this is going to be your reading all about your month of December 2025. We are going to start off with these cards, and these are going to tell us about your main themes and main energies of December, as well as any significant events and changes that are coming your way. So our first card is the Sun. What a beautiful card to start off with. Right off the bat, this is telling me that December is going to be a joyful month for you. There's probably going to be some pretty significant good news coming, and it does feel celebratory in nature. So something happening to you or someone close to you, a loved one, a family member, a friend, that is really worth celebrating. If you celebrate any holidays during this time, I would bet that you're going to be making very happy memories. There may be, okay, this is a really specific message, but it was something about meeting a child for the first time. So let's say, for example, a loved one of yours had a child, and then this holiday season you're going to be meeting them for the first time, and it's a very joyous occasion. Or maybe you had a child, congratulations if you did, and during this holiday season you're getting to introduce them to your family members and your loved ones. There is a feeling, whatever the case may be, of loved ones uniting, reuniting, and having a joyful and celebratory time together. I feel like you're going to be making a lot of happy memories, and there is sort of a playful energy around this month. So I do feel that any stressful situations are going to be fading away, and any pressures that you would normally feel are going to be, I'm hearing, temporarily lifted during this time. So maybe this is something like you getting to go on vacation, or somebody else is picking up on your responsibilities for a while so you don't have to think about them, and you can just focus on relaxing, having fun, being with loved ones, and recharging. There's also something coming through about you finishing a project, but this is going to surprise you. So maybe you weren't expecting to get it done within December. You thought it was going to take much longer. Maybe you thought you weren't going to have the time or energy to do it, but you got a sudden random burst of energy and you were able to finish this project, or you had more free time than you thought you were going to. There's like an unexpected motivation that you get that you didn't really see coming. And I don't know why this is. Like, maybe for some of you, historically at the end of the year, you're more like sluggish and don't feel like doing anything, but this year you're randomly just full of energy and full of ideas and you're able to get stuff done. But something that I see often with the Sun card is an increased amount of physical energy and vitality and just like an excitement for life. you want to be up and doing stuff. So I feel like you are going to be in very high spirits during this month. I feel like physical health is going to be good, mental health is going to be good, and you're going to feel close to your loved ones and get to be in a playful energy. So this is a really, really nice card to start off with. Ooh, we also have the first chakra, Archangel Michael. So Archangel Michael could be a significant angel for you, or he's letting you know right now that his presence is going to be around you. I'm noticing that Archangel Michael, as he's depicted on this card, as well as this child, they have blonde hair. So blonde hair or light colored hair could be significant for some of you. Again, I feel like this is talking about physical energy and vitality. And something else I'm thinking of now is if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, then December is probably cold and dark. And so maybe you're not really used to feeling super good around this time. Again, maybe you're used to feeling just like tired, not motivated, don't really want to go outside. Maybe it's hard to get out of bed because it's just like it's dark in the morning and your bed is so warm and it's like, I don't want to move. You're maybe used to feeling like that, which I feel you, but there's like a random burst of energy that you're having in December that you want to be more active, or like you're getting more things done, or you just have more inspiration than usual. And it's like, I'm not complaining. I'm not mad at it. And yeah, I'm just seeing really like lifted spirits and a really happy mood for you. And root chakra energy, it also feels grounded and secure and calm. So again, I feel like there's going to be minimal stresses this month, and any pressures that are usually on you are going to be lifted. Yeah, this makes so much sense. We have Wonyo here, which I feel has a really similar energy to the sun. It's just very joyous, celebratory, harmonious. There's probably going to be a lot of time spent with family or loved ones. We have conjunction, a union. I feel like this is the same message coming out again and again, like a union or reunion of loved ones. Union, merging, and coming together. For those of you who are in a relationship, there could be a really beautiful moment of your family and your partner's family coming together, or this could even be happening among friends. Like, I'm imagining if my parents met my best friend's parents, that would be exciting for us. Or if some of my friend group met some of their friend group, it's like the most important people to us, the people we love the most, getting to come together and get to know each other and having our worlds merge more. It just feels very happy, and it feels like something worth celebrating. You're coming into union or reunion with the person you really love or the people you really love. And we also have first house. Very interesting that in this deck you can see there is a baby growing, and we were talking about children with the sun card. So maybe you already know that you are going to be having a child, or you just had a child. Congratulations if you did. This could also be a news from someone close to you that a child is going to be coming into the world. Again, this could be talking about you being just in a more playful and bubbly energy. First house, again, is making me think of increased energy, increased confidence. There could be something happening this month that is causing you to be celebrated, because the first house with the sun, it does give a feeling that in some way a spotlight is shining on you. So there could be really good news coming to your life that people are celebrating, or a big accomplishment of yours that people are celebrating. And yeah, it seems like today all of the cards are kind of pointing towards the same happy energy. I'm not really seeing any challenges yet, if I'm being honest. And you know, I don't sugarcoat things. So if there's challenging energy, I'm going to talk about it. But This just looks very happy and joyous. We do have the numbers 3 and 5 here. So December 3rd through December 5th could be significant dates for you. There's actually going to be a full moon right around that time in the sign of Gemini. So around the full moon could be a significant time for you this month. If you are familiar with your birth chart, maybe you know which house this full moon is going to happen in, and that will give you more insights about what area of your life it's affecting. I wonder if maybe the full moon is happening in your first house, like if you're a Gemini rising, or even if you're a Taurus rising, it could be happening in your first house, depending on what house system you use, or it could be aspecting something in your first house. But yeah, I feel like those dates could be significant for you. So, also, people whose sign is your rising sign could be significant. So, for example, I'm a Taurus rising. So if this was my reading, maybe Taurus people are going to be significant to me in the month of December. Leo people could be significant as well because the sun is associated with the sign of Leo. Or people who have the same sun sign as you could also be significant. This could even be some kind of situation where like someone whose sun sign is your rising sign, someone whose rising sign is your sun sign, that kind of thing. In terms of significant signs, symbols, synchronicities, hummingbirds could be a significant sign for you. Unicorns could be a significant sign, as well as in general, the color red. The number 1, you could see repeating ones because we have the first chakra, the first house. You are also group 1. So look out for 111, 1111, and also Archangel Michael maybe sending you signs or contacting you during this month, or maybe you're already in contact with him and this is a confirmation. Okay, I also noticed as I was talking about Archangel Michael, the camera timer went to 1111, so maybe that's a sign from Archangel Michael when you see that number. All right, so we are going to pull some tea leaf cards for you. We have Teardrops, Great Personal Sorrow. There's a challenging energy. And we have Lightning. Control your anger or you will be sorry. And we have Apple, temptation will test you. Maybe there's a situation that is testing your patience. It's testing your patience, but it feels... I'm always kind of careful with the words of like, oh, life is testing you, the universe is testing you. But it's maybe a situation where you can show yourself that you don't need to react in the same way as before. It could be a situation where something which would have previously triggered you is not having the same effect anymore. I also wonder if you could be realizing that a situation that once made you angry or irritable, behind that was actually a sadness. And once you get to the root of it and actually feel the sadness that was hiding underneath, it dissipates the anger and the frustration and the irritability. Maybe because we have been talking a lot about reunions, and when we're talking about reunions with family and loved ones, these can be people who have been around since childhood. So I wonder if you're getting a chance to see that some pattern is being broken, or like we don't have to play out the same cycle again because the underlying emotion and especially the underlying sadness has been addressed. And so this sadness was manifesting as like tension, like tense situations or anger, or maybe some kind of like bickering or snapping because there was a deeper pain underneath. And I just feel like this, with all of this happy energy, is maybe a chance to revisit the same situation, but the same lightning, so to speak, doesn't get triggered. It's like a chance for you to see how you've grown, or maybe how someone else in your circle has grown. someone else in your family has grown. Let's get a couple more. We have not your path. Okay, yeah, you're getting off this path. And we have moon, mother, vulnerability, comfort zone, and emotions. Okay, yeah, this is making more sense. Maybe, because we were talking about full moon, the full moon being significant, and the full moon can definitely heighten emotions and just magnify energies, and especially being in the sign of Gemini, which is the sign of communication and words, verbal exchanges, the messages we give each other, also our thoughts and our mindset. There could be a situation happening where in the past things would have escalated, but this full moon is putting an end to that cycle, and we're learning how to process emotions in a more healthy way or resolve conflicts in a more healthy way. It's definitely feeling like that the more cards come out. Okay, I also wanted to mention, I was looking at the first letters of these oracle cards. We have A, L, and T, and it was just making me think of alt, like alternative. So that could be significant to someone. Maybe it's like you're choosing an alternative path in this situation. And then I also thought of Atlanta, because I think ATL is like Atlanta. I don't know, or maybe the Atlantic Ocean is significant. Some of you could be going on a trip and crossing the Atlantic Ocean, or you are by that ocean. Anyway, let's get into the specific areas of your life. Okay, so we are going to be pulling one tarot card and one oracle card each for your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. So let's get into it. Group number 1, your love life and relationships, your career and studies, and your spiritual and personal growth. Then we're going to do the same thing with our oracle cards. Love life and relationships, career and studies, and spiritual and personal growth. Okay, so let's see what we have for you, starting with your love life and relationships. Your tarot card is the Queen of Swords. Okay, this Queen of Swords, it took a long time for the camera to focus on it. I'm definitely going to make a mental note of that. And then for your oracle card, we have Diamondback Rattler, Speed, and Primal Power. And this is card number 41. I feel like there's something significant happening in the first few days of December, because all the numbers we have here are like the early numbers, like 1, 3, 4, 5, and then we have that full moon on the 4th. It could actually be on the 5th if you're in the Eastern Hemisphere, I think. But yeah, those first few days of December seem to be important. And the more information comes out in this reading, it is probably to do with your relationships and maybe an important conversation that needs to be had. And especially with the Queen of Swords here, it is probably a conversation about boundaries or about a conflict that needs to be resolved. It's a confrontation that may be uncomfortable, but it's important, and you will feel a lot better after it happens. And this sort of paves the way for you to have a very joyful month ahead with minimal stresses and minimal pressures, because it's like you've gotten something big off of your chest and everybody is on the same page and everybody knows what to expect. I'm also hearing everybody respects each other. So whatever conversation this is, I do feel that it's going well. And everybody involved in the exchange is coming to an understanding and coming to an agreement. And I actually see things ending warmly and affectionately. The fact that the Queen of Swords was taking a long time to come into focus, it could be that it's taken you a long time to be in a place where you feel like you can speak up and say what you need to say, or it's taken you a long time even to figure out how to articulate what you want to say. Maybe that time it took to come into focus was literally, something felt blurry or something felt vague. It's like I have this vague feeling, but I'm not sure how to put it into words. And it feels like maybe something that was simmering under the surface for a long time, but the Queen of Swords coming into focus, she's able to articulate herself very clearly and very, I want to say powerfully. And I think I mean in a way where you have to listen to her. You have to listen to her. You have to respect her. I feel like this Queen of Swords is definitely representing you. You being able to speak up for yourself and clearly say what you want, what you need, what you expect, what you don't want, what you don't need, what you don't expect. If there's been someone around you, I heard if there's been someone around you who's been doing too much, and that could mean so many different things, that's just what I heard. Someone around you who's been doing too much, you're able to kindly but very clearly request that they maybe take a step back or take things down a notch. But then similarly, maybe there's someone around you who isn't doing enough, they're not doing their part, or they're lacking in consideration, lacking in efforts, and you're able to, again, clearly and lovingly request that they step up more. And I feel like getting to the point where you bring this up could be uncomfortable, but I do feel like the outcome is going to be positive. And again, it's going to create room for you to have a joyful time and make really good memories, because it's like whatever conversation is being had, everybody honors the agreement that was come to. Okay, we've come to an agreement. I'm going to do more of this or less of this from now on. You're going to do more of this or less of this from now on. It feels like people are really taking that to heart, and everybody is acting accordingly with what was agreed upon in the conversation. I do wonder if this could be among family, just because I feel like there's been a lot of family energy in this reading, and we did have mother here and we have a queen here. So this could be something happening with a mother figure, but it could also be happening in a professional setting or in an academic setting. This can be, of course, applied to many different situations. But I would mention there's a strong family energy going through this reading. So I think this full moon is helping you to become a more empowered communicator and really command your voice. And I'm hearing claim the things that you deserve to say, the things it's your right to speak up about them, the boundaries that you deserve to set and that deserve to be listened to. You are claiming your power over your voice. I think the full moon in Gemini is helping you to do that, regardless of what house in your chart it is. And it's kind of doing a bit of hard work now so that you can have a very happy and easy time in your relationships later, because nothing is left unsaid, nothing is left to be guessed about. It's very clear how everybody feels, and everybody knows how to make each other happy and make each other comfortable. So you're having the conversations you need to have and sort of laying the groundwork to experience a lot of joy in your relationships. Okay, also, literally as I finished saying that, it's 11:11 right now, like 11:11 a.m. So definitely look out for that number. Okay, let's take a look at your cards for your career and studies. For your tarot card, we have the Queen of Cups. That one focused quite a bit faster. And for your oracle card, we have the North Star, guiding light, direction in life, and values. And we have number 1 again. Oh my gosh. Those first few days of December, you'll have to come back and tell me what happens, because like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of December, I feel like are coming up a lot. And what was I gonna say? Oh, I wanted to say, seems like feminine energy is quite present in this reading, because you have not this one, you have 2 queens, the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups, and then you have the Moon, which is related to feminine energy. A lot of your significant relationships could be with women or with feminine energies in the month of December. This could also be you getting more in touch with your feminine side. I do think it's interesting how quickly the Queen of Cups focused compared to the Queen of Swords, and maybe there's a message there that you are very focused on your career, or you have a lot of clarity about your career during this time. If you're not feeling that energy right now, I would bet that December is going to be the month where you get a lot of clarity about your career and about the path ahead and what it is that you really want to do. I very often see with any court card of cups in a career reading, I see someone who really needs to be emotionally invested in the work that they're doing. Otherwise, it's really hard for them to keep it up in the long term. I mean, they're not the type of person who can just have a job because it's a job, because it pays the bills. They really need to care about what they're doing, and in a lot of cases, love what they're doing, be passionate about it, and perhaps even feel some kind of spiritual connection to the work that they're doing. I also often see someone who they need a job where they can feel like they are connecting to others, moving others in some way, and really making a difference in their lives. Like to really feel connected to their purpose and connected to the collective through the work that they do. I see that as being especially important to someone if they have like a Queen of Cups or a King of Cups or a Knight of Cups in their career reading. So I feel like that could be you. And something about this Queen of Cups sitting in the shell, I imagine like it's just opened up. So there's this feeling of you, oh my gosh, yeah, and the sun peeking through the trees too. There's this feeling of you really blooming in your career and gaining a lot of clarity about what you want to do. I'm thinking back to that message about stressful situations fading away and pressures being lifted off of you. This feeling of a pressure being lifted could have to do with an epiphany about your career journey. So something you had been really confused about, you couldn't see the solution or you couldn't see the way forward. Maybe it was a decision that you were, oh, okay. I just heard, this is really specific, I just heard someone is feeling huge relief because they find out that they are going to be able to graduate after all. So maybe like someone was panicking, like they thought they weren't going to have enough credits or their average wasn't going to be high enough and they would have to redo the class, and then something's happening through some process of consulting with someone, or maybe there was a bit of information you were missing and you're like, wait, no, I actually am gonna get the credits I need. I actually am going to, I don't know, qualify for this scholarship, or I'm gonna be able to graduate. When you go over the facts again, you realize you actually are going to be able to move forward. So yeah, the really specific example that just came to my mind was graduating. Let me know if that's the case for you, but it could also be like qualifying for a certain opportunity. You thought you weren't eligible, but maybe they changed the requirements, or you had kind of misunderstood what the requirements were and it turns out that you actually are eligible. You may be finding out that you're actually going to make a deadline. You didn't think you were going to. There's some good news like that. And it obviously, receiving any kind of good news like that, it feels like a weight lifted, but it feels especially significant for you because there's this sense of like, you had already made peace. You're already mentally processing like, okay, it's not gonna work out, so I'm gonna start trying to get over it. I'm gonna start trying to make other plans. Let's go to my plan B. It's like you've already kind of mentally let go of it. And then it's like, surprise, actually, you can do your plan A. So maybe that's what's being celebrated, but it just feels like a huge clarity and a huge weight lifted. And okay, this is making me really, really emotional because I'm tying that in with the message that you really want to do something you love and something you're emotionally invested in. And I'm imagining the situation where you thought that wasn't going to be possible. And it's like your heart is so sad about it. Your soul is so sad about it. And you're like, okay, well, that's just the way it's gonna be. So I'll look at this other job instead. You know, it's not really one that my heart is in, but it is a good job. So you're already like preparing to move towards this other thing. And then the universe is like, wait, but your plan A is a go. Wait, but you can do what you actually love. And it just feels like the most wonderful, I want to say miracle right now, but it was already secured for you. It was already yours. It's just like something was maybe misunderstood or some new information appeared and you realize you can do it. Queen of Cups and North Star, it definitely feels like you're moving towards your calling, something that you really want to nurture. Something that really, really feels aligned for you. That is the career path or the study path that you're moving towards. That's such a beautiful message. Okay, let's finally look at your cards for spiritual and personal growth. Oh my gosh, your tarot card is the 10 of Cups. Yeah, your guides are iterating and reiterating that December is going to be a joyful month for you. We also have Twilight. Shout out to my Twilight fans. That could be a sign for some of you. And we have Reflection and Assessment. Okay, definitely, yeah, it seems like an assessment of the facts or the assessment of some new information coming up is going to be very positive for you. If you have anything like exams, evaluations, any kind of assessment that you're going through, it does seem like it's going to go well and you're going to get the results that you want. And something coming through at the last minute is also a strong message. Looking at this 10 of Cups, this actually, in this deck, the 10 of Cups feels more individual than it feels in some other decks. And what I mean by that is just normally in 10 of Cups cards, we see like a happy family. There's several people depicted in the picture. And while there could very well be loved ones around you and loved ones celebrating with you, this manifestation, this good news that's coming in December, it's also a very personal moment with yourself, like just between you and yourself. You may kind of celebrate outwardly with your loved ones and then kind of celebrate, oh, that's making me emotional too. Celebrate in private with yourself because you're the only one who's actually been with you for the whole journey. You're the only one who's seen all of it. And you're the only one who knows on an intimate level like really how much this journey and the ups and downs have affected you. And I think that whatever you're manifesting here, it literally feels like the contents of your heart being pushed outward into your physical reality. It's as if the life around you is a snapshot of your heart. And that's a really emotional message. And you're just surrendering and letting it grow, letting it explode out of your heart. And that's as the Queen of Cups. I keep getting emotional for your reading group 1 because I feel like you're such a soft and gentle and kind and loving soul at heart. And all you've wanted is to live a life that is a reflection of your heart. But sometimes you have to be a bit of a like badass Queen of Swords to make that happen. You have to be a bit hard on the outside, or you have to do hard things. And I think this is the month where you see that it was all worth it. And this is the month where you see that you were not crazy and everything. What I mean by that is just sometimes when you have a really strong wish and you don't see it in the 3D yet, you're like, is this all in my head? Like, am I crazy? So if you've ever felt that way on this journey, December is the month where you realize, no, I was not crazy. In fact, I was in the process of building a replica of my heart in the outside world. And that's what my life is now. I see myself in this. I see my heart in this. And all of the like hard and uncomfortable things I sometimes had to do along the way were worth it. Because in this 3D reality, sometimes you kind of have to fight a little bit to manifest your heart's desires. It doesn't always just gently float into your life like a fluffy rainbow cloud of love. Sometimes you have to be a little bit, you have to, what is this? This is me fighting, I guess. That's you kicking and a scratching, grinding out your best. Anything it takes to climb the ladder of success. I'm absolutely certain I've sang that song before in a reading, which is funny because I feel like Twilight and High School Musical, were they kind of popular around the same time? Anyway, shout out if those are significant to you. Sometimes you have to fight a little bit and you have to speak up for yourself and you have to do difficult things to get to that beautiful, soft life that you want. And yeah, I think this is the month that you see, like, I'm capable of difficult things. It doesn't always have to be difficult, of course, but when it is, you're capable of rising to the challenge. And I wasn't crazy. I was manifesting the whole time and it was all worth it. So this reflection and assessment, I think, is also something that you're doing with yourself. Again, this feels very like personal and intimate moment between you and you. Just reflecting on how freaking far you have come. Like, holy crap, this was a long journey. And we did it. And we freaking did that. And I hope you can give yourself a pat on the back, give yourself a hug. Smile at yourself in the mirror. Just have that moment with yourself after the moment with your loved ones to really let it sink in. The more I sit with this energy, it really feels like whatever's happening here, like in your career, in your studies, in your journey to your purpose, it's a big deal. It's a big milestone. And I hope you celebrate the crap out of yourself, Group 1. Okay, so those are all of the messages that I have for you, I think. Is there anything else? No, I think that's all. So thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my memberships where you can watch the extendeds that go up every month, and you can also watch full-length pick a card readings that are exclusive to the memberships. and my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number twos. So if you guys chose the Christmas tree, this is going to be a reading all about your month of December 2025. We're going to start off with these cards here to look at the general overview of your month. So this is going to include the main themes, the main energies of your month, as well as significant events and changes that will be coming your way. So let's get into it. Our first card is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so you are going to be unexpectedly lucky in some regard in the month of December. Also, okay, there could be some surprise that is being planned for you, but I think the main theme of the month is unpredictability. I will say, when this card appears for the overall energy, it does give the feeling that things are not going to go according to your plans. If you are a spontaneous person and you like surprises, then this will be a welcome energy for you. But if you are someone who needs to know every little detail of what's going to happen in order to feel at ease, if you are someone who doesn't really like when the universe takes creative liberties, if you're someone who struggles with divine redirection or divine intervention, then this can be a little bit of a challenging energy. But what I will say is that the redirections with the Wheel of Fortune is always to bring you where you're meant to be. And it's always to bring you the blessings that you truly want. So the Wheel of Fortune can teach us a lesson in co-creating with the universe and remembering that we don't always have the best idea in our human mind of what needs to happen, or like how and when things need to happen to get us where we want to go. I'm someone who kind of struggles with things going off the rails of my plans. Like, it's okay if I go off my plans, but if something outside of me redirects me from my plans, then I get really just like nervous and stressed out. But time and time again, even when the universe steps in with different plans, I always get done what I need to get done at the end of the day and have some happy experiences along the way that I hadn't planned for. So anyway, all of that to say, if you have really like down to the minute rigid plans for the month of December, may not be going that way. The universe may have some surprises for you. The people in your life may have some surprises for you. So I would say a good piece of advice for this month is embrace spontaneity and enjoy the ride. And just remember, if there's any changes or redirections, it's all happening in your favor in the end of the day. We have man holding a coin. Okay, so some redirections, some changes in plans could be leading to you either saving money or receiving more money, or could lead to some kind of blessing in your career. You could be getting some kind of end of year bonus, or if you celebrate holidays, someone could be gifting you money. Or someone could be treating you to an experience that you really want, but that you wouldn't necessarily pay for yourself. Okay, like someone's treating you to the experience. Someone could be picking up the bill for you, and it's like very generous. Also, just realize that the Wheel of Fortune is associated with Jupiter, which is the planet of abundance, good luck, prosperity, blessings. So there's probably some good news coming in the financial department. Your expenses will not be as much as you thought. You will finish off this year with more money in your bank account than you thought. There's probably going to be some kind of bonus or gift of money coming in, or like a really generous treating you to a gift, treating you to an experience, something like that. By the way, feel free to claim all of these. There's no limit to the number of blessings or the kinds of blessings you can get. We have, I think this is pronounced Rido. It could be Rado. Feel free to correct me. And I just saw 444, so look out for that number as well. There's going to be some kind of travel happening in December. And with this Jupiter energy and with this money energy, I would bet that it's either going to be a faraway trip that you're going on, a long trip, or a kind of lavish trip, a fancy trip, if you will. So for example, some of you could be like going away for 2 whole weeks. You could be going to another country, or even if it's a shorter trip, like a shorter duration or a shorter distance, it would be kind of luxurious. Like an example I'm thinking of is a weekend getaway at a spa. Like maybe it's only 1 or 2 nights, but it's like very rejuvenating, feels a bit lavish. Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting. We have Capricorn, ambition, realism, and methodical steps. So we do have the sun entering Capricorn towards the end of this month. It will be on December 22nd. The date might be a little bit different depending on where you are in the world, but from the 22nd to the end of the month could be a significant time for you. Maybe that's when this abundance is coming in, or when you could be going on a trip. And we also have, actually there's a lot entering Capricorn this month. We have Venus entering Capricorn on the 25th, and we have Mars entering Capricorn on the 16th. So I feel like that last week of December is going to be quite blessed for you, quite abundant. But in general, this second half of the month seems to be when things are going to be really sweet for you. Maybe the first half of the month is like everything's the same. Well, I don't want to say everything's boring. Okay, I hope not. Don't feel free to not claim that. But like in the first half, maybe everything's just according to plan, business as usual. And then in the second half of the month, like you get an unexpected bonus, or someone surprises you and takes you on a trip. There's some kind of like abundant or lavish surprise that is happening for you. And then we have waning crescent. So this is the moon right before it becomes a new moon. So I would say a piece of advice for you in December, as we are nearing the end of the year, this will be a good time to revisit any goals that you set at the start of the year. Maybe you wrote a journal, or you wrote down like the things you wanted to accomplish by the end of the year, and your guides are saying there's still some that you can check off by the end of this year. There's maybe some that you had forgotten about. So this would be a good time to check in, because obviously we're like almost starting a new year, to maybe see if there's any last minute things that you want to do, any last minute goals that you want to accomplish. And the new moon in general could be a significant time for you, which is happening on the 20th. So again, towards the end of the month, I think is going to be a significant time. Capricorn people could be significant to you. I also want to say Sagittarius and Pisces, because we have Jupiter energy here, and those are the signs related to Jupiter. So if you know any Sagittarius, Capricorn, or Pisces people, they could be playing a significant role in your month of December, or maybe you have those placements and that's a confirmation. But let's get into some tea leaf cards. What else do my group number 2s need to know about their month of December? We have Shield, you need to defend yourself. Bird perched, waiting for news, package letter. Okay, there's a really specific message coming through with this, but if you are going to be shipping any packages, it might be worth it to get the pricier option with tracking or something with insurance, so that you know where it is and you can make sure that it reaches its destination safely. If you are traveling, it might be good to get some kind of travel insurance, or like, especially with this Wheel of Fortune unpredictable energy, like you might want to last minute change the dates of something. And if you have insurance, then it won't cost $1 million to change your flights. That's just one example, but something about the like waiting for a package and you need to defend yourself, it made me think of insuring packages or like insuring, I don't know, your luggage or your trip or something like that. Also, if someone's taking a long time to respond to you, doesn't mean they're not gonna respond. Okay, why am I hearing comically late? Sure, someone is responding to you finally and it's like comically late, but you're happy to hear from them. Yeah, so if you've been like really waiting to hear from someone and you're like, oh my God, it's been this many days, it's been this many weeks, like they're not gonna respond. They still can. And they very much might. This is just one example coming to my mind, which I think is like the kind of funny part of it. But it's like, if you message someone and you were like, hey, I'm going to this city, do you have any recommendations? And then they respond to you like a month after your trip ended and you're like, thanks, but it's a bit late for that now. So yeah, just someone getting back to you in a very late manner, I feel like is gonna be happening this month, but I don't really sense that you're like annoyed or offended. It's just more funny and like you're happy to hear from them. It's probably someone that you want to reconnect with. And I just saw 1111 as I said that. So take that as a confirmation. And we also have Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. You are going to be having a lot of fun times this month. Just make sure that you are safe, make sure that you are protected, make sure that you take the necessary precautions. That is a very broad message that can apply to a lot of things. But if there are precautions that you can take, just take them, because it could really come in handy. This is the energy of like, I'm gonna take an umbrella even though the weather app says it's only a 10% chance of raining, or even though I have ample time to get to the airport, I'm just gonna leave pretty early anyway, just in case there's a traffic jam. Like you never know what could happen. Be like my favorite goat from the Hoodwinked movie, who is always prepared. He has horns that open bottles, he has horns to hold his keys, he has horns that open pickle jars, and horns that come with hair. He has horns to hang his other horns. He always comes prepared. Shout out if you know what I'm talking about, but basically be prepared. Be prepared, this lesson must be shared. Okay, anyway, if you're going to write an exam, make sure you bring extra pens in case one of them runs out of ink. Like just anything you can think of. You will be glad that you prepared. Okay, enough of that. Let's get a couple more oracle cards and then we're going to get into the specific areas of your life. Group 2, I was in kind of a crappy mood earlier today, but sitting in your energy has made me feel very happy and calm. So thank you for that. Thank you to my group number 2s. If you were sending positive vibes, I received them and I'm sending you positive vibes back. What else do my group number 2s need to know? Situation will be brought to light. Okay. Let's get one more. This is happening! Oh, so a situation will be brought to light and it's good. It's happening. That reminds me of the meme. Actually, Madison Aso sent it to me the other day because something like this happened to me, and she sent me the video of Michael Scott being like, stay fucking calm. Like, it's happening. So I wonder, it could have to do with this message that you've been waiting for, or like some plans you've been wanting to make for a really long time. Maybe it's like your dream trip that you've always wanted to take and you finally bought the tickets, or you're finally getting to see a person you've been wanting to see and it's like, oh my gosh, it's happening. yeah, I feel like these go together and I feel like it's a positive thing. And this is even more reason to embrace changes of plans and divine redirection, because it is going to be worth it if you trust the universe's process and just go with the changes. The universe knows the timeline much better than we do. The universe knows the shortcuts better than we do if a shortcut is needed, knows the scenic routes better than we do if one is needed. It plans things in the best way, and you will be, I feel excited. You will be very grateful if you trust the little redirections. It's going to take you somewhere really exciting. Okay, so let's get into the specific areas of your life. We are going to take a tarot card and an oracle card each for your love life and relationships, career and studies, and spiritual and personal growth. Love life and relationships, career and studies, spiritual and personal growth. Love life and relationships, career and studies, spiritual and personal growth. Okay, so let's get into it, starting with your love life and relationships. Your tarot card is the Seven of Cups. And your oracle card is Pioneer, Trailblazer, Explorer, Long Haul Driver. Okay. The word long haul made me think of that expression, in it for the long haul. So this could be talking about a long-term relationship. Some of you may be either confused or worried about a particular relationship, like you are wondering if it's really going to last. It feels like there's someone in your life that, okay, I'm thinking of that expression, not all that glitters is gold. And it feels like there's someone in your life who shines like gold, looks like gold, it feels like gold, but you may be worried, what if it's not? Can I trust this feeling? Can I trust this bright and bubbly feeling? So it seems like you're with someone, whether that's romantically or friendship-wise, where it just seems like they're so amazing, you're getting along so well, things are going really well between the two of you, almost like you're feeling this person is perfect, but then you're like, but does the perfect person exist, or does someone this perfect exist? It feels like you're trying to temper that excitement and hopefulness with like a little bit of skepticism. You could just be feeling kind of wary, and it's like, I think I found gold, but what if it's not? Can I trust this feeling? Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. And more specifically, there's a feeling of like, will this last? You know, everything is so great right now, but what if they walk away like next week? What if this fizzles out? What if this is one of those situations where it's like the chemistry is so amazing and it just fizzles out? Yeah, worried about whether something is really going to last. And we can never know. Why is everything I'm saying sounding like All Star by Smash Mouth? Because there's a line in that song that says all that glitters is gold, and you'll never know if you don't go. And I want to quote both of those right now, because you really do never know if you don't go. Like, I wish there was a way for us to know before we walk down that path with someone, but after all the speculation, after all the like, what if they are really perfect, but what if they're not? What if I can trust them, but what if I can't? I think at some point we have to just take the leap. And I think December is seeing you taking the leap to trust this person. For some of you, this could be an inverse situation where you were dealing with a wary person. You were dealing with someone who felt you are perfect, but they're afraid that you're going to walk away, or they're afraid of messing things up, or they're afraid of losing you. They're afraid that it's not going to last. And so they've been kind of apprehensive or holding back. Maybe it's a bit of both. Like you could have been both kind of going through this energy. It's like we've really found something great with each other, but we're scared if it's going to last or not. And so whether this is you or them or both of you, I feel like this represents someone just like taking the leap and committing and going along for the ride. Because we have these words like trailblazer and explorer. It feels like committing to taking that journey with each other. So if you've been dealing with someone who's been kind of wary, I feel like this could be them committing to you. If you're the wary one, then it seems like you are the one who's going to be committing and just embracing whatever happens in the future. So that's very exciting. The Seven of Cups is Venus in Scorpio. A Venus in Scorpio person could be significant. Some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn with Venus in Scorpio or a Sag with Venus in Scorpio. That's really, really specific, or maybe that's you. Obviously that's not going to be for everyone, but let me know if you have that combo, because that would be very cool. And then we are going to look at your career and studies. So your tarot card is the Four of Pentacles. Yes, you are getting money or saving money. I want to say this year. I guess maybe like in December, you're looking back on the year and you're like, oh, I saved more money than I thought I would. I have more money in my savings account than I thought. You're finishing the year with more money than you expected. And I think this is a combination of some bonuses or generosity that was shown towards you, but also you making good financial decisions. The Four of Pentacles talks about someone who is frugal, and sometimes it can talk about it in a negative way, like we're holding on too tightly, but I actually see this in a positive way for you guys. There may have been situations this year where you delayed gratification. Yeah, you delayed gratification when it came to spending money, and you're going to be really glad that you did that. So one example of this energy is like there's something you really, really wanted to buy and you're like, no, like I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give in to the temptation. And now it's like on sale, or now the price is half the price of what it was before. So because you didn't give in to the instant gratification earlier, now you can get it at a much more affordable price. You can save a lot more money. So you're like, okay, I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't impulsively buy it. Another situation could be you hold off on buying something and then someone else buys it for you. Someone else gives it to you as a gift. I realize that this is not necessarily about your career, but it's about money. And I do want to mention that because it's a blessing. It's a positive message. This could be for some of you making the choice to stay in a job, because the Four of Pentacles does talk about, like I'm going to stay firmly planted here. I'm going to hold on to what I have. I'm not going anywhere. So there could be a situation where some of you stick around in your current work situation, and then you end up getting a raise or you end up getting a promotion, and then things get better from there. So you're like, okay, I'm glad I waited a bit longer before making a decision. I'm glad I think the expression is held out, or hold off for whatever it is. Hold out for another however many months. I'm glad I waited because now I'm in a better situation. And even for those of you who are like, no, Kino, I definitely want to leave my job. I feel like there still is going to be some reason that you're glad you waited as long as you did until you changed jobs. Maybe it's the amount of experience you got in your previous job makes you qualified for better jobs, qualified for the job you really want. Or maybe you do get some kind of raise or bonus before you go somewhere else. It's going to be different for everyone, but there's this feeling of more money coming in than you expected. And also this feeling of, I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't act too soon. I'm glad I just held on. Yeah, something like that is happening. And for your oracle card, we have good time in man. That's making me think of, there's an artist called Good Times Ahead. That could be significant for someone. Heartbreaker, silver-tongued, and smooth. Okay, with this like heartbreaker, silver-tongued, smooth, I feel like this good time in man is actually the voice in your head that tempts you to give in to instant gratification. And you did a better job than you think of not giving in to that voice, and it's gonna pay off in your career or in your studies. There could have even been voices in your head that were like, oh, you can call in sick today. You can slack off today. Oh, you don't need to study. You can go out. And you're like, no, I'm going to stay disciplined. This feels like staying firm, even in the face of that voice, that like the little, there's like the little devil and angel on your shoulder, that whole thing, that voice that's like, oh, come on. You don't have to do all that. You can go and hang out. You can go and spend all this money. And you're like, no, I'm going to stick to my goals. I'm going to stick to my disciplining, my self-disciplining. And by the end of this year, you're going to be really glad that you did that. And I feel like you can do something really fun and something really meaningful at the end of this year with everything that you've saved. Also, this is Sun in Capricorn. So we already talked about that, the Sun entering Capricorn on the 22nd. I just feel like the end of the month is going to be a really blessed time for you. Also, both of these cards have like older men with white beards. That could be significant. Maybe it's a nod to Santa Claus. And this man looks like he's got a little bit of gray going on too. So I don't know, like, and he has facial hair. Men with long hair and beards could be significant to you, or like men with gray hair. Yeah. Okay. And they're all holding, he's holding money, he's holding drinks. Anyway, the drinks feel kind of like celebratory, I guess. Whatever, let me not overanalyze these men. Okay, so finally, we are going to look at your cards for spiritual and personal growth. We have the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like this kind of ties into the last message. Like, your repeated efforts and repeated discipline are definitely paying off. Your consistency is paying off. I think a lesson you're learning, because you're experiencing it firsthand, is I don't always have to be at my best. I just have to keep showing up. Whether it's studying, whether it's exercising, whether it's like sticking to your routine, you don't always have to do a good job. But you just got to keep showing up. Sometimes you're going to show up and not do great, and that's okay. Building that consistency is the most important thing. That's what's really going to pay off and help you reach your goals in the end. So I think you're finishing off this year with a lot of pride. Like, I'm so proud of myself that I stuck to this habit. I'm so proud of myself that I stuck to this routine. I'm so proud of myself that, again, I didn't give in to instant gratification and I stayed disciplined. And I hope that you are celebrating yourself during this month. It seems like you are. And whether or not you have met your ultimate goal, I feel like to the version of you who exists now, it's not of so much importance. Because you're more proud of yourself for all of the day-to-day stuff. Okay, let me give an example. I'm running a marathon in a couple of weeks. So if this was my reading, let's say I didn't get the goal time that I wanted, but the reason I'm proud of myself, it's not because of how I did on race day. I'm proud of myself for showing up for the months of training before that, because it's just made me more resilient as a person. It's made me more disciplined as a person. It's made me trust that I can show up for myself more. So it's like the quote unquote end result. Like, yeah, we're gonna celebrate if we reach our goal. Yeah, we want to reach our goal, but the main thing that's making us proud is all of the day-to-day consistency. So I see you going through a journey like that, in whether it's like in a goal that you're working towards, or habits that you've been building, habits that you've been quitting. Did I say your routine? Probably. Things like that. And for your oracle card, we have Eagle. That's Scorpio energy again, because eagle is one of the symbols of Scorpio, and we had Scorpio here too. Higher perspective, foresight, and vision. This feels like a new perspective of what really matters. And it's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's very true that a lot of the time the journey is more important than the destination. And I don't feel called to say a message about whether or not you're going to reach your goal. But I will say that your hard work is bearing fruit. Your hard work is giving you results. Your hard work is giving you improvement. And you are feeling proud of yourself, and you're feeling like a changed person. And I feel like this is not even just about December. It's maybe like this past year. You have really proven to yourself that you can do and achieve a lot more than you thought. There is a message like this in group 1, this realization of like, I have done a lot of difficult things. Like, I can do difficult things. I am capable as heck. And I think you're realizing that as well. And it's like, regardless of what the outcome is, you know that you've improved so much. You know that you've learned and grown so much. And I think you're just feeling really proud of yourself and celebratory of yourself. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Let's look at signs and symbols that could be significant. Whales could be a significant sign. Moths, eagles, could be jellyfish. Pink flowers or orange flowers, or purple flowers, or just the colors pink, orange, and purple in general. And I also want to say rainbows, and I also want to say cherry blossoms. And also holly and cattails, I think is what they're called. The little tall things with the brown on top, that kind of plant. Anyway, this is everything I am seeing for my group number 2, so we're going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have a link down below, my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my memberships where you can watch the extendeds that go up every month. You can also watch full-length pick-a-card readings that are exclusive to the memberships, and my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, everyone who appeared in this reading, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number threes. So if you guys chose the bell, this is going to be your reading all about your month of December 2025. So we're going to start off with these cards here to look at the general overview of your month. So this is going to include the main themes, the main energies of your month, significant events and changes coming your way. So let's get into it. Your first card is the Hierophant. So the first thing coming to my mind is about perfecting something or taking something more seriously, which is an interpretation that I say sometimes with the Hierophant. It's not the most common one, but it's coming to my mind right now pretty strongly. So I feel like that is a theme for a lot of my group threes. The vibe that I'm getting here is like, if there's a skill that you've gotten kind of rusty at, you are taking it really seriously to improve at it, to get back any skill or performance level that you had lost and to just feel natural at it again. The good thing about that is, we can lose our skills over time, but once you get back at it, it does tend to come back quite quickly. So some of you this month are recovering from rustiness that you have felt, and I'm happy to say it seems like your skill is going to come back quickly and you'll be better than you ever were at it than before. I feel like I did not say that sentence properly, but I think you know what I mean. Also, there could be some of you who are self-taught in something, and this may be the first time ever or the first time in a long time that you are now going to seek like formal lessons, formal training, formal education. And that's not to say that your self-teaching process wasn't effective. In fact, for those of you who are self-taught, I feel like you did an amazing job and you reached a very high level by yourself. But it can always be a good experience to have a second opinion, to have a professional opinion, or just learn and pick up things that you wouldn't necessarily find on your own. It can also be a great I heard bonding experience. So, pursuing formal lessons or formal education could be a great opportunity to meet people, to meet like-minded people, fellow enjoyers of your hobby, fellow havers of your skill, versus you can be kind of isolated when you're doing it by yourself. So I feel like this is talking about brushing up on a skill and maybe seeking out environments where you can learn it in a more formal way alongside other people, and then hopefully make some nice new connections from that. And then another interpretation that was coming through was something about traditions. That is kind of a more textbook meaning of the Hierophant. So you could be starting a new tradition this December or picking back up on a tradition that you once had with family, with friends, with loved ones. There's something also that I'm hearing about like getting back to the basics, getting back to the bread and butter of something. Like maybe you kind of ventured off and did things differently and now you're going back to the way you always did it, going back to what works. Some of you could be having one of those, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it experiences where you had your way of doing something, you always did it this one way, and then you were like, let's try switching things up. And then you were like, nope. And you're just going back to the way you always knew was good for you. That's just for some of you, but I was feeling a little bit of that energy here. So we also have attachment, but the first thing I'm noticing here is that both of these cards are number 5 cards. The Hierophant is the major arcana associated with the number 5. This is obviously a number 5 too. So that could be a significant number. Like you could be a life path 5 or born on the 5th of the month, or somebody like that is going to be significant for you. We do have a full moon around that date. It could be on the 4th or the 5th, depending on where you are in the world. But that full moon in Gemini that we have in December could be significant for you. And that was coming up for group 1 as well. So if you were drawn to group 1, you may want to check out their messages too after this, because I feel like I was talking about that full moon a lot in group 1's reading, and it could be important for you as well. It's interesting because the full moon can talk about release, and this card says attachment. So you could be releasing some attachments this month, especially an attachment that you had to an old identity or an old way of being, because this person is holding a mask and they're chained up here. So it's like an old identity that was holding you back. I'm hearing something about like, there's a difference between remembering the past and reminiscing about the past and dwelling in the past. And I think you're going to learn and really feel what that difference is during this month. Maybe something is clicking for you. And this could happen in different ways for different people. Some of you may realize that what you thought was just like a reminiscing was actually, oh, I'm dwelling in the past too much, or like I'm clinging on to something from the past that no longer is, a version of myself, a version of my life that no longer is. Like this doesn't feel healthy anymore because now I'm trying to like get something back that doesn't serve me anymore, or I'm trying to be someone who I'm not anymore and I have to put the past behind me. Others of you might find that it's like the inverse. Like you were worried that you were dwelling too much, but actually you find that it's healthy to revisit those memories, and maybe even healthy to incorporate some things from your past. Oh, from your past life. I didn't mean it that way. I meant like your past in this lifetime, but maybe you are reclaiming some part of you that you haven't for many lifetimes. So like I said, this is going to be different for different people, but there is something about re-examining your relationship to the past and really feeling and understanding the difference between like revisiting versus like, I cannot let go of this. Yeah, of the past. Yeah. Okay. So we also have Thurisaz. This card always feels like kind of a struggle. I'm going to read it from the guidebook. The wolf protects, ooh, interesting. It's on page 6 and 7. The 5th, 6th, and 7th could be significant for you. The wolf protects his pack and does not back down from a challenge. Unlike the bull who stands his ground unless significantly provoked, the wolf takes the fight to his adversary. He is driven by a passionate internal fire that can warm but also burn. If you don't heed the wolf's growl, he will eventually bite. Thurisaz has an element of chaos, destructive natural forces, aggression, and conflict. These are united for the purpose of defense and protection. It can also symbolize potent male sexuality, instinctual will, vital eroticism, and a regenerative catalyst. It represents a tendency toward change through catharsis, purging, and cleansing fire. Some of you could be doing a very safe ritual that includes fire, with a lot of fire precautions. You know, like when you write something down and burn it, or could even be, I remember I lit a fire, like there's a fire pit in my backyard and I burned some stuff in there. It could even just be lighting a candle, or even envisioning flames as a kind of ritual or intention setting to purge past energies. Interesting too that there's a full moon behind this wolf, which as I'm looking at the cards, that's not something that's in every card. So it is specific to you. And we were just talking about that full moon. If you're not someone who does like new moon and full moon rituals, you may want to consider it this month. It could be really powerful for, you know, backing that intention to release the past with some kind of action. where was I? It represents a tendency toward change through catharsis, purging, and cleansing fire. Thurisaz is the sharp and painful stab of the thorn that jolts us awake and into awareness. The keywords are protection, passion, defense, conflict, and male potency. Thurisaz supports and aids your defense against adversaries. If you have a challenging phone call coming up, inscribe it on the inside of your phone case. Combine with algae for even broader protection. Okay, there could be some kind of confrontation coming up around the full moon, and group 1 was getting that message too. But this feels more like confronting yourself about something that is not working anymore and something that you need to let go of. And maybe there is a part of you, the part of you that's still attached, that is like quite defensive and putting up a fight. That part of you that you're ready to release, an insecure version of you or an inauthentic version of you that's kind of hung around for too long, but it doesn't want to go. And it's putting up a fight against you, against your higher self that is ready to let go. We also have Neptune, dream and transcend. There could be an illusion that you are ready to let go of, even though there's a part of you that doesn't want to let go, because Neptune can talk about illusions, fantasies. It can talk about delusions as well. Just take this if it resonates, because I love being delusional and I love dreaming. I think it can be a really important superpower, but some of you may be discerning like this dream that I'm holding on to or this fantasy that I'm holding on to is not serving me anymore, especially if it's some kind of fantasy life that makes you feel like crap about the way you are now or the way your life is now, like some ideal that can never be reached. You could be letting go of that and embracing being content with yourself now. But whatever it is that you're letting go of, you probably already know what it is if you're resonating with this reading up until now. I do feel like there's a part of you that is going to be clinging on to it and that doesn't want to let go. Yeah, and then the next card is opposition. So it's like this conflict between the version of you that is ready to let go and ready to tell a different story, ready to live the life that comes after this. And then there's this other version of you that's like, no, I want to stay holding on to this. I want to stay in the past. Maybe a fearful version of you that just wants to keep holding on. So there could be a little bit of that internal conflict that is going on during the month of December. And I want to say, if I could give any advice, is that yes, time in solitude for reflection is important, but I feel like being around people is going to help you. Spending too much time alone or isolating yourself could be a hindering energy in releasing what you need to release and what you're ready to release. Because being around people will help ground you. It will help bring you back to the present moment. Let's get some tea leaf cards for you. Let me see, actually, I want to see exactly where Neptune is. I know that it's in Pisces during the month of December. It's actually, I think Neptune retrograde is ending this month. So when is Neptune retrograde over? Neptune retrograde will be over on December 10th. So with this inner conflict, you could start to feel better. Oh, sorry, that's my laptop in the frame. You could start to feel a bit better after Neptune retrograde is over, after the 10th. And it is going to be, it's in the late degrees of Pisces, 29 degrees Pisces. That's a tough one. if you have any placements in the late degrees of Virgo, like 26 to 29 degrees of Virgo, then Neptune is going to be opposing those placements, and you could feel a little bit of tension there. That's definitely not going to be for everyone. It's probably, oh shit, do I have Chiron there? I think I might have Chiron in the late degrees of Virgo. Oops, that's very fun. Okay, anyway, let's see. We have key, successful outcome to your problems. We have wall, misunderstanding, and we have September. I'm thinking of wake me up when September ends. And also we were talking about the late degrees of Virgo, which is in the month of September. So shout out to my end of Virgo season Virgos. Maybe you're born like September 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Anyway, there's a successful outcome to this internal conflict. A successful outcome to the aspects of you that can't seem to understand each other. And I think the biggest misunderstanding that we tend to have when we feel like we're battling with an insecurity, or, you know, battling with this aspect of ourselves that just won't cooperate and wants to make our evolution difficult, is that we think that part of ourselves is just trying to mess with us and trying to hinder us, but for one reason or another, it thinks that it is helping us. It thinks that it's serving us. And a lot of the time, we don't make that part of us, do I want to say go away? We don't quiet that part of us by fighting it, but by actually embracing it and showing it love. Pushing it away only makes it resist more and cling on even more and try to claw its way back even more. But when you actually love that part of you, it tends to quiet down and release its grip on you. So I think there's a piece of advice for, you know, whatever inner voice it is that you're frustrated with, whatever emotion is lingering beneath your surface that you're like, oh, why won't it just leave me alone? To try to embrace that part of you and show love to that part of you. And that's how it will actually finally dissipate and release its grip. With the month of September here, this could be something that you've been struggling with since around September, or a person born in September could be significant, or that month could just be significant to you in other ways. Now I'm also thinking of, do you remember the 21st night of September? Two different songs with very different vibes. And we were actually talking about the 21st of September, because it's like a late degree of Virgo. Let me know if you have like a late Virgo sun or a late Virgo something, because why do I keep talking about that? Like sun, moon, or rising in the late degrees of Virgo. That's just, I don't know, it seems significant. Maybe someone close to you has that. All right, there's a couple more oracle cards we're gonna pull for you. My power speaks for itself. And transforming. You're doing it, you're transforming. So you're successfully letting go and releasing and moving towards the future. So I think you're gonna feel empowered as heck by the end of this month. And you're stepping into 2026 as a new version of you. I'm proud of you, Group 3. I love that for you. Let's get some cards for the specific areas of your life. So we're gonna pull tarot cards for your love life and relationships, your career and studies. I already saw this one, we're gonna pretend I didn't. Spiritual and personal growth. It's more fun when I reveal them at the end. And we'll get some oracle cards too. Love life and relationships. You got 2 oracle cards. Career and studies. And spiritual and personal growth. There we go. Okay, so let's take a look at your cards, starting off with your love life and relationships. Your tarot card is the 6 of Pentacles. Ooh, that's a nice one. So reciprocated feelings is the first thing that comes to my mind. So that's a great sign for those of you who have a crush, a person of interest. This could even be someone you really want to be friends with and they really want to be friends with you too. So this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but it does give the feeling of however you feel towards them, they feel the same way. And it's good to know that you are on the same page. So again, like the person you're crushing on is crushing on you. The person you want to date wants to date you. The person you think is so cool and you want to be friends with them, they think you're so cool and they want to be friends with you. This could also be regarding your intentions or your desires for how a relationship moves forward. So with someone who you're already close with, you're thinking like, I think we should do more of this. I think we should do less of this. Like how you want to show up and interact with the relationship moving forward. I feel like the 6 of Pentacles shows that you will be on the same page with that. So whether you're feeling like there's someone you want to keep in touch with more often, or maybe there's someone you feel like you want a little bit of space and distance from, like whatever it is, the 6 of Pentacles says they're going to be feeling the same way. They're going to be totally on the same page as you. Not only that, not only do your feelings match, but then you will be able to act on those mutual intentions and bring in a meaningful and tangible change into the dynamic of your relationship. The 6 of Pentacles also gives me the feeling of stability. Stability, security, balance. You're emotionally at peace. It's a lovely card. We have Buffalo, honor, abundance, and generosity. I was talking about Virgo energy a lot. I feel like Taurus energy is significant as well because we have it. I mean, the buffalo is like bovine animal, so I'm going to count it as Taurus. And we also have a Taurus card here and a Taurus card here. So a Taurus person could be significant to you during this month. And generosity is a theme as well because we have that keyword here, and it's also a keyword that I would often associate with the 6 of Pentacles, especially like we're generously helping each other, we're generously serving each other, we're exchanging our energy generously. And then we have bones, death, endings, and the past. I feel like this relationship is going to come in once you've let go of the past, like we were talking about here, or it's going to start really improving once you're able to let go of the past. So in this case, holding on to and dwelling in your past has maybe been hindering your ability to show up in relationships in the way you really want to, or hindering your ability to build deeper bonds with people in your life or your people of interest. It's just releasing an old era is going to help you really ground and build meaningful relationships. Focus on all the people who are ready to be here for you and love you right now. For your career and studies, we have the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. And we have Dust Bowl. Ooh, this is actually exciting. Darkness, blackout, oblivion. But let me tell you why this sounds exciting. So we're talking about you brushing up on skills. And the King of Pentacles feels like mastery. It feels like reaching expert level. You'll often hear me say, if you're coming through as a King of Pentacles, you are one of the best in your field and you're going to be recognized as such. So maybe that's linked to this brushing up and perfecting energy that we started off the reading with. You could be entering into an advanced level or even an expert level with regards to a certain skill or something that you do for work. You could be reaching a level where you can literally teach this to people, where very high level companies or very high level clients are seeking you out, and you have gained a lot of respect and a lot of recognition. Also, these two cards are really giving the feeling of your financial situation improving this month. This darkness and blackout and oblivion made me feel like you have no competition. Like there's no one else in your lane. For an example, let's say you work at a company and you are the only person on your team who can do certain things. So you always get asked to do it and you always get the recognition for that, or you always get the compensation for that. Or, okay, I just heard in a sea of fakes, you're the real deal. That's just gonna be for some of you, but you are legit, let's say. There could be, for example, you could be in a field where there's a lot of people who are not really that qualified, like overly confident but underqualified, but you actually know what you're talking about. You actually have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience, a lot of capabilities. You have no competition. You are standing out from the rest. You're not even put in the same sentence as your competition. I'm thinking of, this is in a line from I Am the Best by 21. Okay, I just pulled up the translation. Also, Yumi's on the chair with me now, so you might hear her a little bit more. She's basically just saying, like, don't compare me to anyone. I refuse all comparisons. Like, I'm the number one. Yeah, that's gonna be you. You're gonna be CL. Shout out to 21 fans. Oh my gosh, and this card is 21. That's funny. Yep, and now Yumi is getting excited and snuggling into my lap. Yeah. Anyway, you are in your own lane. You cannot be compared to anyone else. I feel like if you were getting compared to someone else, it would only be like the greatest of the great. The icons, the legends, the moments. Look at this King of Pentacles wearing these sunglasses. Like, you are so freaking cool. And I feel like you make it look easy. But we know it took you a lot of hard work to get to where you are. So let's look at your cards for spiritual and personal growth. Your tarot card is the Fool, which I already saw but then forgot. So it was like a surprise to me again. And Cold One, Belonging, Relief, Sanctuary. Immediately I'm thinking of cracking open a cold one with the boys. The Fool being here for your spiritual and personal growth makes a lot of sense, because if we're talking about your personal journey, the Fool is like a completely new slate. I feel like you feel like a completely new person. And I think it's really interesting that on this Transform card, her face and body is kind of blanked out. It kind of looks transparent. And so there's this feeling of there's a new version of you that is loading right now. And who you're about to become, the possibilities are endless. Some of you could be making huge changes in your life if that's what you want, but I could also see this energy playing out in a way, like I've been through inner transformations like this too. Let me know if you know this feeling, but it's like from the outside, it might not look like your life has changed that much, but on the inside, you feel like a completely different person. You feel like a brand new person. Oh, and that makes these keywords of belonging, relief, and sanctuary so sweet. I feel like this is talking about feeling a sense of belonging with yourself and feeling like you yourself are your own sanctuary. You are your own safe space. And that's going to be such a beautiful change for those of you who have felt uncomfortable in your own mind, who have felt even like unsafe in your own mind. Like, my mind is not a sanctuary, especially like those of you who have been feeling like my mind's not a sanctuary. I'm trying to escape my mind. I'm trying to escape my thoughts. This shows you feeling truly safe and at home in your own body and in your own mind. I think you're gonna feel like you are your own best friend, and even you are your own soulmate. I feel like sometimes people joke in comments of soulmate videos, like, I am my own soulmate, but this is how you're truly going to be feeling. And you are the person you want to commit to the most. You are the person you love the most. You are the person you want to spend the most time with. And this is how you genuinely feel. And it's a really good feeling. Especially too, for those of you who maybe come from a past of centering other people, maybe even putting other people on a pedestal, or feeling like you'll be happy once you'll be happy once you're in a relationship with this person, or you'll be happy once you get recognition from this person. Giving that power to other people. Now you are giving it all back to yourself, and that is the best feeling. Yeah, I think that's like the biggest inner transformation that you are going through. And if I take cold one kind of literally, this could be like mentally, emotionally, you are feeling a lot more chilled out this month. I think there have been moments of tension with yourself. There have been moments of kind of grappling with your own mind and feeling like you're in an inner conflict with yourself, and maybe even wanting to escape from your mind and escape from your thoughts sometimes. But now it's like being in your mind and being in your thoughts feels very chill. It feels like where you go to relax. Your mind is a safe and calm place for you now. I would also, if I had to cherry pick a card for this energy, I would put the Six of Swords. I feel like that's the energy that you're in. And it's beautiful. And like, I feel like you're really limitless in this new chapter, because you've gotten all these aspects of yourself to agree with each other and work together, rather than feeling like you can't move forward because oh my gosh, what is that song? Wait, I have to cut that out because I just looked it up and then the song started playing and I don't want to get copyrighted. But it was Good Days by SZA. It's just searching, trying to make sense of this thing of me, a war in my mind. Oh, it's such a good song. I would recommend listening to the song. I'm actually going to link this. Let me make a note of that. Yeah, that's a great song. And it just feels very uplifting. Okay. I think those are all of the messages for my group number 3s. So thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my tarot reading Instagram, my personal Instagram, my memberships where you can watch the extendeds that go up every month. You can also watch full-length pick a card readings that are exclusive to the memberships. and my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release linked down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, anyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.